Hello and welcome to the Real Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where Rangers are gearing up for a massive tie that could really define the season in terms of the players that we could possibly bring in, the pull that the club has for being in the Champions League. We've got this massive game against Club Brugge over two legs looming. We're going into this one on just pure hope, I think, really, with all Rangers fans. I think we've done well to get through the first two legs with strong home performances, going away, kind of grinding out the result. We didn't play well really in any of the two games against Panathinaikos or Victoria Pilsen away from home, but we ended up getting the goal that mattered, that relieved a bit of pressure and we get through in the end, which I guess is really all that matters in these games. But we do want to see a level of performance that we can actually be proud of. For a Rangers team that just doesn't feel that it's really hit this season, apart from maybe that Pilsen game at home where it all kind of came together. So it has to be one of those nights at Ibrox again tomorrow night. Club Brugge have to come, and obviously they've had a tough tie as well against Salzburg the week before. They were quite lucky to get through that one, so I think the level has definitely went up again. And this is a team that will be contesting. They had contested in the Champions League last year, so it's going to be a tough tie. And we'll go on to it. But if you could like, subscribe, and share, and let us know your thoughts in the comments, that would be great. Starting off, before we get on to the Club Brugge discussion about that game, we'll start with Saturday night's game, which is the opening of the Premier Sports Cup for us. The draw was made a while ago. Alloa Athletic at home. You would expect this would just be straightforward. See your fringe players play, sub a couple of the guys on that you're maybe planning on playing on Tuesday, get them minutes. 3-4, 5-0. Go home. Actually be happy with a Rangers performance for once, but it was one of those days again where we just could not seem to get anything to stick consistently. I mean, we were probing Alloa. We scored early on a great goal for Bayrami, and just nonsense after that. Really, just absolute nonsense. The goal we conceded for the equaliser is one of the worst I've seen at Ibrox, especially because of the level that we're playing against. I mean, it pings about everywhere. Bailey Rice gets done on the left hand side. It then cannonballs off about four people and ends up in the net off Joe Rothwell. But I mean, the defending is just abysmal. We've seen that against Victoria Pilsen as well, that we just cannot defend as a team. I don't know if that requires another leader to come in. I don't know if that requires more organisation back there, but it's, whatever it is we look so vulnerable to conceding goals.
Massively vulnerable conceding goals, mate. And aye, maybe do probably need a leader to come in there, but I just think boys switch off all the time. They just switch off every single time. I mean, this game is just, as you say, you're expecting drop a couple of people out, put a couple of people in, give them minutes, start building the fitness up, guys like Cortez and what have you, and hopefully a 3-4. But no, we don't like to do that really anymore, do we? We have to make it difficult for ourselves. Big man Fernandez also getting a goal, similar kind of corner-esque, kind of
Mm-hmm.
goal like esque kind of goal for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Coming in big header. But no, just shocking again, mate. Just shocking. Aye, shocking. Absolutely shocking. As you say, you would expect this game to be a wee bit comfortable. You know what I mean? And
That's the thing. You can respect the opposition all you want, and then it's
aye,
like at the end of the day, we're at Ibrox, we're at home. We should be
mm,
comfortably dispatching the Alloa Athletic, and it was made very uncomfortable. Obviously, we went 3-1 up in the end through a penalty, and as you say, we reacted quickly to get back in front through Emmanuel Fernandez. But it was a lot of humming and hawing again. It was a lot of passes to the side, a lot of crosses into the box. We did create a lot more chances. You would expect that, but aye, it was just them scoring for a corner. It made it even more difficult
it's
going into the last 10 minutes.
you think about it though, but I just think of these players. And what's the attitude here? What is the attitude? What's it like in the dressing room? Because come on, man, you should be here. You should be part in the proper performances. Do you know what I mean? It's feels like it's May already for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, just feels like it's every
It
game
just
now.
feels done. It does.
It's a slog to watch. I can't. The centre half can't pass. Can he pass? They're too scared to go forward and actually play properly the way Martin probably wants to. But I don't know. I just, as I say, it already feels like Groundhog Day, man.
It does, and then that was the team that that started this one. Liam Kelly, of course, getting in for a performance, didn't do too great. Obviously conceding to Max Aarons, again one of those players that's always trying to look for the safe option. He needs to be more on the forward thinking foot to go forward to create and try something. I just feel he's too safe with a lot of his play.
Well, that's. I mean, I thought we were getting a player that was brave to go forward at least. I've yet to see that for him. And I mean, we sat here and we talked about obviously that the big thing is obviously the whole thing with Tav and playing Tav or whatever. It feels and now it's Dow. Now it's his best mate, Kieran Dow. He's got to
Hmm.
play every game. He's got to be involved every game. So that's great. But no, I just again, as I say, it's nice to see obviously the boy for Spurs come in, get some hangme. Obviously done really well. And as I say, apart from that, I kind of think anything real positive to talk about really because it
No,
wasn't
the
positive on the
only
field.
positive thing is the fact that it was a lot better than we've seen at home domestically. But again, it's Alloa, so you can't really look into it
That's it.
too heavily. Mikey Moore definitely looks like he could provide us something on the left hand side. He looks like the kind of winger that'll at least be fearless. He'll go up players for the other team. He'll try things, and he's got the turn of pace on him as well. So he's in a position where I think I will looking to integrate him in to be a starter pretty soon. I think. Bailey Rice, of course, went off with another injury. It just seems to be common for this guy all the time. Rothwell was trying a lot more forward passes and stuff that he even mentioned in his interview after the game because a lot of his play again is becoming too safe. The middle of the park's becoming too static when the main guys are playing, and if Rothwell is playing, he has to try a lot more in terms of going forward. You've seen it with Leeds last season; he can be that
Well, I
guy.
mean, he's no problem going forward. You know what I mean? I just think it's what's around him in the environment. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
For me, you know what I mean? Group of cowards really, innit? He's surrounded with it now.
And that's
Uh,
it. And that's where the mentality has to shift. It has to shift into a place where we have to be, the tempo has to be high for the get go. I mean, that's one thing see when I watch Rangers. It's just pass it about as slow as we can, but the
no
tempo
intensity.
should be at a high level all the time.
There's there's no intensity. There's no aggression. There's no constant real drive. I feel like to constantly go forward. You know what I mean? You want to ping the ball about. You know what I mean? Should be one and go. Instead, Suter wants to hold on it. Fucking probably think about his dinner for last night while he's got the ball and then pass it to whoever he's playing next to. Do you know what I mean? I'm extremely nervous for this game, Champions League wise.
Hmm.
Because these guys they've shown nothing. They've generally shown nothing. I feel like it's you could change the manager consistently, but some of the core, as I say, who are still here and what have you, I mean, they'll never change, and it feels like they're rubbing off on some of the new lads as well.
No,
It's just
sometimes I just think the way the shot is that heavy as
it's
well. It's
heavy.
like it's a club now that are like we are starved of success. We are desperate for a team to just come in and play like a Rangers team, and we're sitting losing 2 goals at home to Alloa. Of course, we win the game, we're through, we're happy about that. But in terms of like the way we go about our games, it just feels like a slog every time. We don't dominate any game. We don't feel like the team that's in the ascendancy really in any game. We always look prone to mistakes. We always look prone to losing goals. We don't score enough goals. And that's been basically the short and long of this whole game was just like that. I think if we go through some of the other guys as well, Bayrami of course scoring a good goal, he done all right. Kieran Dow lasting the 90 minutes again. I mean it's concerning to me that he's again as we spoke about last week. Some players have just been bombed out and told they're not playing. But Kieran Dow can come back in and waltz into the team. Pretty obvious he played with Russell Martin all those years ago, didn't he, at Norwich? So definitely a pals act thing there, and I do believe even at the moment he is probably getting scapegoated because of how bad we are. We need somebody to kind of hang our shirt on. I get that, but he's got a guy that shouldn't be playing for Rangers, so the fans
But
will make their voices vocal about that.
that's the thing. The manager shouldn't put him in the position. Do you know what I mean? To get all the, I just feel like I mean, there's always one in there. There's always one
Hmm.
you think Scott Wright. You think about, you know what I mean, a couple more. There's always one of them that you know the manager's just going to. He can't keep playing him. I swear if he starts Tuesday night.
That's the thing. There's now always the thought that he might, which is a scary thought. But somebody else that we need to talk about as well, the guy that's leading the line is Danilo. He's not offering anything. He's
No.
struggling to put anything together in this team. He's not getting chances. He's not trying to create chances. He's like an empty jersey. He might touch the ball about 15 times in this full game before he gets subbed off, which just isn't good enough for a Rangers striker.
No, it's not good enough at all. Feel for him a bit, obviously, as I say. You know what I mean? I mean, I think of the buzz we had when we were linked with this guy. Do you know what I mean? We thought a Brazilian leading the line, please. But we always seem to get the dodgy Brazilians, don't we? We always seem to get the Brazilians on the way. You know what I mean? Aye, I just have to say, I feel for the guy. It's probably best for him that we try and move him on, but I doubt it. As I say, with the way it's going, we're struggling to shift people at the moment. Similar for me with Cortez as well. I'm rooting for these two personally. I want to see the two of them do well because I do believe
Hmm.
that if they get going, they can.
I think I like Cortez's attitude. I was watching him quite closely the game on Saturday. I like his attitude where he's always fighting for the ball. It's clear that he's really low on confidence where he doesn't feel like he can go around players and that he's taking again the safe pass instead of trying to get around his man. But I do believe there's still talent in within Cortez. I feel it a bit different on Danilo now. I feel that we desperately need somebody that's going to score goals and lead the line well for Rangers.
No, we definitely do. I mean, it's the one we've been looking at all summer in it, really, with that Israeli boy or whatever he come in. Could he do the job? But you can't have Danilo and Dessers. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Two Michael Beale signings still being here and being the main options up top. That's not
nah.
going to cut it, man.
Nah, realistically, we have to lose one of them to get a new guy in. They're not going to go and sign another striker without getting one of them off the wage bill. And of course, the positive was to all of this that Hamza Egeman made his return back into the side off the bench. Russell Martin says he wouldn't start the game on Tuesday, which is a given considering he's just back, but definitely a part for him to play on Tuesday, as Thelo Asgard as well, making his debut. Looked quite sharp on the ball, looks like somebody that's going to contribute and offer something different to this side that is desperately lacking some creative injection. So, aye, there was bits to like about Saturday, but again, largely negative about the whole thing. And then we decided to sign a new left back, and I've been quite vocal about this on Twitter. Speaking about the signing him again, the guy's now in the shirt. He's now a Rangers player. I'm fully behind the guy, but it definitely feels like right. So we're selling Yefty, which we'll get on to. We're bringing a 19-year-old guy that's worked with Russell Martin before. He then left Southampton for 10 million, which is a good fee, obviously, for a youngster. Not played too much, needs to go out and play. It's another loan deal. I'm struggling to find the positives with this one. The positives would be if we sign a starting left back and he's going to be a rotation option. Then cool, happy with it.
Mm.
But I don't know. I'm just not wholly sold on this. It feels like a very lazy signing. It feels like Russell Martin and co have just been like, look, get this guy in. We've worked for him. We need him on loan. But it feels like
It's
that
a,
defence needs a permanent fixture in it.
it's like one of the career mode ones, isn't it? Where you sign the young boy on potential and you join a new club you've worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is like to me. It feels like mates rates again over here for me. You know what I mean? Bring him in. I know I've worked with him. He cannot be the starter for us. I'm sorry, he can't. If you're losing, obviously, Brazilian Donny, you have to going back to Brazil. Don't blame him. Well, it's sunny all year round. I'd go there as well, brother. I just this kind of I don't know, man. I sometimes question are we serious about stuff. Like really,
Nah,
are we
that's
serious?
the thing for me. I don't. I understand. Yes, he's left. You're looking to get a replacement in quick, so you have at least a natural left back for the game on Tuesday to register. I understand why this deal's moved so quick. I understand why they've probably advanced it because they knew that they could get him in quickly. But I mean, Ridvan Yilmaz has been leaving for the full summer, so we should have been active on a left back anyway. Obviously, the Noble Mendy thing that we'll get on to as well is kind of broke down. We're needing somebody in there. Again, if this guy's coming in and by the end of the window we've got a guy permanently in at left back, which I believe we will get somebody because we're not going to go all season with one left back. That's just a given. Obviously,
Yeah,
we might, but
I'll go
I
there.
don't believe that we'll do that to ourselves as a squad as well. I think he'll be the guy that'll rotate in and out when we need him. And I think if we're going to be in European competition, we're going to be in the Europa League. We need somebody else in there, somebody that we can rely on to start. And I think the thing that people are hanging on with all this thing is we've got Nasser Giga on loan, Max Allen's on loan. We've now got Jaden Magoma on loan. John Suter, James Tavernier are both leaving next summer. We don't have a defence that is planning for next season. We have a defence that's stopgapping for this season.
That's scary to think about that. Genuinely scared. That's no serious to me.
Well, the fact that we've spent over 20 million and that's the defence we've
That's
got to offer
all.
up is poor.
I just think that's no serious at all. The defenders, if we should be having people locked in for a couple of years, that should be the first. But I just, it's really scary to think about some of the business we've done really so far. I feel like really when we look at it, I
Aye, because
don't know.
I think some of the guys like Asgard, of course, coming in for a cut price fee by the
Oh, listen,
higher rated and
there's
stuff.
some
Gassama,
absolutely,
good
but
signings that have been there, but
defensive wise, that everyone in your defense should be locked down. They should be locked down. You know what I mean? Defense is where it all starts. That's where winning the leagues really start, isn't it?
and that's where kind of fans like me and other folk are going to get concerned about going into next summer because
I'm
it feels like if Nasser Giga is going to continue having the season he's going to have, he's going to be unattainable for us in a permanent transfer. So we need to go and look for the next version of him, like we did for Cherny last season. If Magoma turns out to be
not
a
even
talent for us,
defenders.
of course, we could maybe go and get him, but I don't know.
Even defenders for me as well. I mean, how did we not go and get? I think Butland's all right. He's done all right or whatever. He's still a bit concerned, as I say, at times for me. But first thing I would have been looking at is a goalkeeper. I'm sorry, the goalkeeper on the back line is where I'd have sorted
I
straight
feel
away.
like that's kind of wholly been neglected when you look at the players that we've brought in. I feel like it's just kind of obviously our first signing under Russell Martin was Max Aarons on loan. It felt like we were going to address all the issues that we had defensively. Again, we have to some degree. We're bringing a left back, we're bringing in a couple of centre halves, we're bringing a right back, but there's nobody that's going to really be here beyond Emmanuel Fernandez next season. So
Scary to think about. That's no serious to me. I'm being honest with you. That's not serious. We want to dominate. We want to win leagues. You're not going to do
and
that.
leagues are built on like getting good defences, getting strong guys that you can rely on at the back, and we've not got that kind of plan for the progression.
That's it's horrifying to think about, as I say. I
Yeah,
mean, there's so many. Aye, I really don't want to be in the Champions League now. If I'm being honest with you, man.
it's going to be a big task. It's going to be a big task to even get a point in this the way we're going at the moment. If we get through, but aye, of course, Jaden McComas here. He has my backing. Hopefully, it turns out to be a decent and surprising signing for us. But we definitely need a permanent left back in before the end of the window as well, because of course Yefty is going to be leaving the club. It felt like it could go this way with the fact that he was kind of in and out. He of course played just a week ago out in Pilsen, but Palmeiras and Brazil are close to signing him long term contract. Good deal for Rangers, upwards of about 6 million for the club, and a guy we brought in for 500 grand. So that's the model that we're all talking about working to its effect. Gives you a bit of money to play with in the transfer market for the rest of the window as well. So, aye, Yefty goes with my best wishes. I think he is a player that, again, maybe if he was in a club where he was offered a bit more time to develop, he would have got it, and I think he will turn out to be a good player.
I look forward to watching him play for Chelsea.
Seems like that's the
Probably,
plan. I mean,
aye,
Chelsea have signed a few players for Palmeiras already, so
well, I look forward to him playing for Chelsea. Maybe, obviously they struggle to play most of their players. Obviously, they've basically signed half of the footballers on the planet. So maybe we can get him on loan in a couple of seasons down the line. No, he goes with the best wishes, mate. He's a good young player. You can tell he'll crack on and he will probably go to the top of the game, won't he?
aye, I think he's got the attributes to to do it. And the thing is, we need a we need a stronger left back. That's really it. So we'll see who we end up bringing in if we do permanently. But aye, all the best to Yefty, and then all the best to Robbie Fraser as well. Permanently leaving the club away to Dunfermline. Obviously, I had a strong spell at Livingston last season on loan. You kind of maybe thought going into this season he's got a chance to prove himself, but like young players at this club, they never get a chance to prove themselves, and he's away to Dunfermline. So unfortunate. I would like to see a bit more of Robbie Fraser, but again, hopefully he goes down there and does well.
He goes well, as I say, he goes well with the best wishes. I thought he looked like a real hard worker anytime I see him. And goes with the best wishes. You say what's the point in us having an academy, man? We don't even really give the lads a proper chance. I know Finlay Curtis is just starting to get really a chance. Bailey Rice has been hot and cold. But he's always getting
Hmm
whacked in the head with a ball, you know what I mean? And he's always always lying down. But Just it'd be nice to see some of these academy players actually get a chance to properly play for the full first team instead of, what I mean, going to Dunfermline and then maybe going to a championship and coming back. You think of Liam Kelly, you know what I mean? He had to leave and then obviously go to Motherwell and Queen's Park and all that, and then he came back as number two. But goes with all the best wishes, man.
Nah, I think so, and I think when you look at the academy, there definitely needs to be a lot of work done there. I think we need to be poaching talent for elsewhere around the globe as well to try and develop them. Of course, you want to develop your own guys first, but it doesn't seem like the pathway is really there for the first team to be successful in it, which is unfortunate. But aye, Robbie Fraser leaves. We have everybody's best wishes as well, and Noble Mendy. Unfortunately,
Who?
it didn't work out. Aye,
What?
Russell Martin's never heard of him.
Aye.
But a deal that looked very close to be completed couldn't be completed, and he's not going to be a Rangers player. Again, I've been watching the Rangers reviewing that. Apparently, this deal was separate to the Jaden Magoma one, so we're still going to be looking for a centre half, and that'll need to be quick as well because we need at least two or three defenders in by the end of this window, I think, to be comfortable. But Noble Mendy was one that I was excited about, but again, the fact that we've missed out on him, I would rather go for somebody a bit more experienced now in that area.
I will look forward to whoever we bring in for the championship.
Aye.
That's all I say. Nah, it's just another one you lose out in it. You know what I mean? He'll probably go on and do well. Just need to move on. That's the way it is. You know what I mean? Deals like this probably happen all the time, don't they? Where it looks close and then it falls through. But we need. I don't want any more loans. I say, like, just obviously hearing
Nah, I
that.
don't think we can offer any more loans anyway. I think you can only have a certain amount
Right,
as
well,
well. So hopefully it's going to be permanent in that area now. I would like to think so. But aye, Noble Mendy won't be joining the club, and then we go into the Club Brugge game. Of course, we've played them already this season, which might be a good or bad thing in terms of how we performed that day, how they performed that day. It was a stalemate, two each. They went 2-0 up in the first half. We ended up retaliating and scoring two in the second half. Again, that was very early on in the season. Teams have changed drastically since. But aye, this is going to be upper level again. This is going to be where we kind of need to perform at home again to the level that we have in more, really, to beat Club Brugge. The team that's on the screen is probably the team that will play. I don't see anything else apart from maybe Gassam will start or Danilo will start. Dessers, of course, took the injury last week, missed the game on Saturday, should be back for this game because he's not been took out the squad yet. But aye, we've got options off the bench now, and Igaman and Asgard and stuff like that. So it is
that's a
what it is.
conference league team. That's a conference league team, mate. That's not a Champions League team. That is. I don't know,
No,
man.
it's nowhere near the level to play in the Champions League whatsoever.
Yeah, I just think he's some of the players Club Brugge have. You know what I mean? That Portuguese boy that was at Ajax and Wilson at Man City's academy. I remember. I think one time when we done the players to watch like transfer thing, I think I put him in there one time. He seems to be cracking on there. You know what I mean? But that Club Brugge always produce quality. And then you look at our team filled with, you know what I mean, low knees and players that can't be arsed and one or two decent players. I know I don't mean to sound like, you know what I mean, like depressing or hang me or whatever, but it's the reality here. Do you know what I mean? It's the actual reality here. And I'm a realist, I'm sorry. That's pathetic for a Rangers team in the Champions League. You know what I mean? Maybe one or two there, you know what I mean, are asking a Diomande, an Ant-Man or whatever, even the big boy at the back, but I'm scared for this game, I'll be honest with you. I think this game could be I think Club Brugge could do it in the one night.
Nah, it could be. I'm not feeling confident for this whatsoever. I think the team that's on the screen again, if you put a stronger centre half in there, if you put a stronger left back in there, if you maybe put a more dynamic midfielder in there, a better
Better
striker,
forward.
it starts to look a bit different.
Aye.
But it's the fact that this is what we've got to offer up with 20 million spent on a squad. So again, it will need to be one of those ones that if we go through, it's going to be the crowd that will
Oh, it's us.
get us
It's always
through.
on us, man. Always on us.
Aye, so this one gets treated as the official start of the Champions League. It gets treated like a Champions League game. You get the anthem before the game and stuff. So the players can either get spooked by that or they can embrace it.
Mm.
It's going to be one of two things. We've only got two players. Obviously, Nasser Giga played in the Champions League last year. Taverniers had that season in the Champions League with us. Mikey Moore, of course, went on, done really well with Spurs last season in the Europa League. So we've got players that have obviously played in those competitions at these levels. Club Brugge does feel like it will be a step too far for this squad.
Well, they're not.
And this management team, to be quite honest with you, I just don't feel that they'll have the credentials to beat Club Brugge, if I'm being quite honest.
Were they not one of the better teams last season in the Champions League? If I'm right, I think they were. They done
I
decent
believe
enough.
they get a couple of good draws. I think they did not draw away at Aston Villa. They beat Aston Villa or something. They were decent. I believe they. I can't remember where they finished in the league table, but I think they done all right.
Done all right.
Um,
I mean, just the thing also what you said there as well. By the way, I know I went in the players here, but the management. I'm sorry, Russell Martin. This is it, mate. I'm sorry. This is. I said it, man. This whole month is. Do you know what I mean? It's make or break, man. I have no patience anymore, man. I'm not
well,
going to sit here.
we've got 4 games before the international break. It's had 2 legs against Club Brugge. It's a league game against St Mirren away, and it's Celtic. Those 4 games, if you don't get into the Champions League, beat Celtic and beat St Mirren, you can forget it. The Rangers fans will be done with you.
As I say. I've no patience, man. We need results now. We need to, do you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's just for me. But here's autumn, as I say, the fans will turn up as we always do, and probably will be the fans will be the reason that we yet again hopefully win this game. But I can't see it, as I say. I just think that's a Conference League team. That for me, that's just a bare minimal like Europa. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens here, but I'm just, as I say, extremely nervous for it. I'm even bricking it for St Mirren as well. You know what I mean? Because
I think
you
you
know how
look at it
difficult
as
that's
well.
going to be.
I know.
You know how difficult that's going to be.
You look at the how hard St Mirren are to beat and break down, and how hard it is for us to create chances and score goals. It could be a nothing each game, but this could. If we look at the positives, it could play into our hands. It could be one of those games where we get the wide men working, we get the midfielders being more dynamic, more forward thinking, and just the back line has to stay focused. It has to stay on top of what Club Brugge have got to throw at you. Because I think in previous seasons this is a well matched game. This is 2 teams
Aye,
that are probably in the
same element, same.
same realm, but Club Brugge have went up a couple of levels now. They're developing players at a outstanding rate. I believe they sold somebody this summer for about 30, 40 million. They've got an offer in for Crystal Palace for one of their wingers as well for about 30 odd million. So that's the kind of level that Club Brugge are now at. That's where we kind of aspire to be, really, as a club that are in the same kind of thing.
We're
So
a we're a club that lets their best players go for free. Do you know what I mean? So, aye,
aye, exactly. But no, we'll look forward to it. We'll of course proceed with
aye.
caution. Like you, I feel the same. I feel really negative going into it. I feel like we won't have the
You know,
answers.
it's just obviously because if imagine we get in, which is great financially and everything like that, and that's what you want. You want a financial anyway. The thought of playing some of the bigger teams in Europe, man, with this squad,
Well, that's the
that
thing as
scares
well.
me,
That
man.
like, if you get into the Champions League, then the players that are maybe on the fringes will want to leave because they want to play Champions League, which
Champions
doesn't
League.
mean we can get players in to compete at that level. I do believe it would be a good thing for the club, of course. Finances, exposure that comes with the Champions League. It's just a different ball game, really.
Do you really want to
Um,
get? Do you really want to watch us get absolutely rattled 7-1 again?
Exactly, but
You
I
know what I
think you
mean?
want to be competitive, and I feel that the Europa League is at minimum our level, and it has been for a good few years now. So I don't think it will be the end of the world. We'll still bank about 5 million for this for playing the 2 games. Of course, you want to get in, but looking at it realistically, do we want more agony and more embarrassment coming our way in the Champions League, which it feels like it will? We'll wait
No,
and
we get
see.
that every weekend, mate. I don't think we need that during the week as well. We get that every weekend. You know what I
Aye,
mean?
exactly. I mean, you can't beat Alloa convincingly then. How you managing to beat Champions League teams? So, aye, of course it's going to be a debate, but aye, that's the podcast. We'll see you again next week for covering the Bruges game, looking ahead to the second leg, looking back at the St Mirren game as well, and then looking ahead to which will be the Old Firm game that weekend. So, aye, a lot coming, and we'll see you then.
Aye.